Hey guys, if you're following along with another build, you'll know that we jumped to the side here to go ahead and build the exhaust after I had to cut the other to get it out. So right now I got some parts that you'll see in the other video, this breather hose that I found was damaged, had a whole roll of electrical tape around it, and some other breather hoses that I'll run up with the snorkel. I gotta run to the local parts store and get, and I also got the muffler and the piece of pipe off there that I cut to do some pipe matching. Now, the muffler that I bought, I got it off Amazon. So you can see here, it's a total flow muffler. Right now, it's too large to go in the pipe, so I gotta get some reducers. I'm gonna go to Advance and see if they've got them. I'll give you the part numbers and everything down below in the video, in the my gosh, if I can talk, the description. So if you want to do this setup yourself. So let's go to the parts store and see what we can find. All right, made it back from the parts store. Got this 90-degree elbow. Went into this reducer, and then into my muffler. So right now, it looks about centered up, but it needs to come back about a quarter of an inch. So I'm gonna take off that lip right there. And then I've got to shave off quite a bit of the pipe, cut it off to allow for this muffler to sit back in. And then I'm gonna tack it, throw the bed back on, and see what it looks like just in this nature, how far it's gonna come out from the body. So let me jump to that. Just give you a little look before I welded it all up. I ended up cutting this small piece of pipe off the muffler because the adapter I got, you see it's 2 1/4 ID to 1 7/8. Well, 1 7/8 is on this side of it, which you can see that was still just a little big. I have to hammer those sides in around and then weld it once it's warm. But this piece here fits right around the weld, the outside of the weld. You can see where I marked it right here to weld. So I just cut that piece of pipe out. Oh, sorry. I just cut that piece of pipe out of there so there wouldn't be any kind of exhaust flow getting caught up in between there and recirculating. So I'm gonna line this up, get it flush, then weld it, and then I'll show it on the vehicle, and then I'll throw the bed back on so you can kind of see how the alignment is and how it looks coming out of the back. All right, so I started welding. As you can see, I got my welds going around the top piece, and I've done a little bit more welding around the side to hold the muffler to the pipe. And I was working my way around, had this one last little piece, and I ran out of wire. So I'm going to make another trip out to get some wire. But before I do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and just jump back onto working on the rear end where I'd left off with on the other video. So just bear with me with jumping back and forth on videos. But to give you an update, I cut approximately 3.5 inches off the 90-degree elbow right here. I cut it off the end connecting to the reducer so the pipe would sit back in. And then on the muffler itself, I cut 1 inch off, which ended up just being the amount that was from the weld to the end of the pipe, and that let this piece sit on there flush, so make sure I don't have any exhaust leaks. I went ahead and also I cut these 2 pieces off the end of the muffler that were back there. I'm not really sure what the purpose is, what they were on for, maybe, I don't know, balancing maybe on the muffler, I don't know. But I also cut off this top ring, because what I'm going to do is, since that muffler is a lot larger in diameter than the pipe, I'm going to use those 2 round pieces I cut, and I will weld them right here and then weld them to the pipe to keep it in the center and still utilize that factory mounting bracket. But I was looking too, once I get it mounted up, I'll see how far it sticks out and if I'm okay with that. But if I'm not, I can always come here, cut right here at the arc of this elbow, and I have roughly about 1 inch that I could move in, still keeping the arc, not hit the frame, come in and offset everything back in. So I have to look at what it looks like once I get it on and the back piece and we'll just see how it looks like. But I'm not making an extra trip out right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up and jump back to what I was working on the other end. Went to the store, got the welding wire, went ahead and welded up around the edges, and then took a flapper disc just to clean it up, looking for any holes in the exhaust. Then I went ahead and cut and welded the those ends off as I showed before, and put them through the holder to show you. See, kind of look at, I got it centered up almost perfect, and it'll be hanging by its own original hanger. Now all I got to do is, I got this pipe cleaned up, is I'm going to finish welding those in, flapper disc those, and come over here and weld this up, and then the exhaust will be finished. So it's centered up, and then I'll throw the bed on once it's finished, just so you can see what it looks like in relationship to the bed. The exhaust is on, got it welded up, got it welded all the way around. Comes out, goes straight down through the center, exactly like I wanted it to. All in all, in the end, it looks pretty good. I like how it turned out. Took that big muffler out. I was able to reuse a lot to make it hang up there right. So, pretty pleased with it. I'm gonna go ahead and let that cool for a little bit, and then I'll show you what it looks like with the bed on. All right guys, here's the RZR with the bed on it. And that's what the exhaust looks like. Centered up pretty good. I'll give you a good side profile. You can see how far it's sticking past. Not too bad. I don't mind it. I'll leave it like that. If you did want to shorten it, like I said, you just cut out this section right here and move it in, and it would have shifted it back. And then of course you'd have to move your hanger and everything, but I'm okay with where it's at. All right, so that finishes this exhaust build. Thank you guys for following along. Go ahead and go check out the other RZR rebuild videos. I've got one already up, and I'll have one here soon, part 2, for rebuilding the rear end. And there'll be more to come. I've got a lot of broken bolts I got to remove, and then a lot of plastic welding. So until next time, keep building.